enough.
Zoom.
Good morning, friends. Kajal, madam.
Good morning.
Morning,
Good morning, Mr. Sundara Pandyanji. I am
good
SP
morning.
Sharma, Chairman of DGF RVO.
Excellent, sir.
So, welcome to all of you.
Yes, Madhusudan. Mr. Madhusudan. Yes, sir. Mr. Madhusudan has raised the hand. Is he wanted to ask anything?
Madam Kajal, are you connected? Kajal, madam.
Good morning, sir. This is Sarita Singh.
Acha, Kajal is not there today.
Sir, Kajal is not well. I will start the session.
Okay. So we'll wait for another 2 minutes, then we'll start.
Mistress,
Wait for another 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm here, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Shall I start?
Wait for another 1 minute. Exactly at 12 o'clock we'll start.
Shall I start, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Namaskar and good afternoon to each and everyone connected to this webinar. Respected speaker of today's webinar, Engineer Shri K. Sundarapandyan, esteemed valuer participating in the CP, and my colleagues from DGF RVO. I, Sarita Singh, CEO of DGF RVO and coordinator of this webinar, extend a healthy welcome to all. Today's topic for CP, as you are aware, is valuation of green building. The concept of green building is the result of increased awareness to be environmental friendly. A green building is a building that in its design, construction or operation reduces or eliminates negative impacts and can create positive impacts on our climate and natural environment. Green buildings preserve precious natural resources and improve our quality of life. The qualification of a building as a green building is a value addition to it. Considering the increased popularity of this concept and demand for covering this topic, we have organized this CP. Shri K. Sundarapandyan sir is our speaker today to take up this topic. I would like to give you a brief introduction of him. Shri Sundarapandyan is very highly qualified and experienced professional. He is BE, MBA, LLB, MSc Valuation, AIV, FIIV, Civil Engineer India, MRICS, UK, NIT, NA Sociology, LIM, PGDCA, PGD, DCS. He is registered as professional with 7 authorities, and that includes registered valuer IBBI. Competent persons to issue stability certificate, industrial safety and health department, Government of Tamil Nadu. He is underwent training in 8 organizations, which includes National Safety Council of India, TTL ISO, audit training, IEI, ACC, EI, L&T, BAI, Green Building Conference. He is teaching faculty in various reputed organizations with over 40 years of experience, together with high academic qualification. Shri K. Sundarapandyan is a very well-respected teacher. It is going to be a very interesting experience. So over to Mr. K. Sundarapandyan, sir.
Yeah, good morning to everybody.
Good morning, sir.
And thanks for very nice introduction, Sarita madam. It was
Yes.
very brief. It was very fantastic. Thank you so much. In fact, whenever I used to give a profile, actually, I just wanted to give henceforth very short, I think. Because what happened, many of them used to tell like this. So I just wanted to reduce. Anyhow, it's a nice experience. In fact, actually, the topic, when the topic was given to me, green building, I was surprised because what happened generally this kind of a topic actually it is more of theoretical and less of arithmetical. When that topic was given to me, I was surprised how what we can do, how we can present. Of course, I had an experience in doing some of the valuation in a stigma land in one of the fertilizer factory we did. That stigma land valuation is something different, but it's also related to environmental. And when the topic was given, I just thought actually, of course, I'm an MRICS. So one of the very beautiful thing for MRICS is they support the members like anything. The information, the whatever the supports you wanted, if they are asking, they will support you. They will provide you. And in fact, I was surprisingly go through the RVO, Divya Jyoti Foundation. And in fact, they are very supportive to the members. In fact, I think they are the one of the RVO which is fighting for the values, and they have filed a lot of writ petition, I think. It's good to see that actually the RVO is supporting the members in a very nice way. With this, actually, thank you so much. I'll start my session with this actually. Uh, the today topic is going to be valuation of green building. How we are going to do the green building valuation. It is a study on valuation perspective. We are not going to just do that a calculation, a report, or something like that. We are going to study the whole concept, how the concept has come, how it has been taken out, how we have just made out for the green building, how this has to be taken into the account for the valuation purpose. This is what exactly we are going to do. Before going ahead for this one, actually, everybody and anybody related to valuation, they are supposed to know about the green building, what exactly the green building is, what exactly we need to know, what are the peoples are there, what are the policies are there, what are the guidelines are there, and what are the peoples who are certifying for the green building, and what is the levels of certifications are. These are all the minimum things actually we need to know whenever you go and do some valuation for the green building. It is not that actually just visit the building and take inputs. It is not like that. In green building there are something different. Actually what happened, there will be a lot of indirect saving is there, lot of indirect saving. In what way it will be indirect saving? Let's see one by one. The sustainability. What is sustainability? What is the meaning of something sustainable? The sustainable means meeting our own need without compromising the ability of sustainability. That is ability to meet future generation to meet their own need. In addition to natural resources, we also need social and economical resources, which is more important for sustainability. Everybody thinks actually sustainability means environment. It is not that. It is also one of the things which is includes in the social and economic resources. Okay, let's see that what is the meaning of green building. A green building is a building that in its design, construction or operation reduces or eliminates negative impact and can create a positive impact on our climate and natural environment, which is more important. It will create a climate and natural environment. The green buildings preserve precious natural resources and improve our quality of life. Very true. I don't know how many of you have visited the green building, a kind of a green building. In fact, I got an experience here, and we visited one of the building in Chennai, Ramanujar IT Park. In fact, I thought actually it'll be, of course, we are doing some of the buildings which is occupied by some IT people, and we are doing regularly for one of the UK company. They are the world leaders in air conditioning. They have a center here in Chennai. That IT IT Park, we used to every 3 years once we used to visit along with my mechanical valuer and myself, and we do that fit out valuation for every 3 years once. They change the entire thing every 3 years. They say that ambience has to be changed. Then only they can get the output will be more. This is what the expectations. So in that, when I visited the building, I feel like I am inside some of the country, some of the different building, some different environment. It was very fantastic. And how the cleanliness and what is the there is no lights were there inside the working hall. All natural lights were there, all natural light. Only in few areas there are some lights are there, otherwise there is no light. It is really amazing. Actually, it's a very amazing experience. In fact, Pune is there, Delhi is there, everywhere there is a green building is. You'll have to visit at least once in a time. You'll have to experience that what exactly the green building is there. And okay, what is the important we have seen green building. Now the important goals and components of green building. I'm not going in depth of everything on green building. I'm just going only relevant to our field. I'm just going to take it out so that I don't want to bore you also in that. The goals of green buildings are life cycle assessment. What is life cycle assessment? See, a life cycle assessment of a building normally involves evaluating its whole life cycle. That is, it includes all stages of assessment: raw material supply to the construction and construction product and construction process stage and use stage, right from demolition and when the materials are disposed or recycled. This is the life cycle. And sitting and structure design efficiency. This is nothing but location and the type of structure, specification, energy efficiency. When the building designed, actually, it should be an energy efficient. All architects will know about this. And we as the valuers, we should know. And water efficiency, how the water efficiently used, and material efficiency, and indoor environmental quality enhancement. What is indoor environmental quality? This refers to the quality of building environment in relation to the health of well-being of those who occupy space within it. I told you, I had been visited to one IT park in which every year they change the whole thing. Why? They wanted to create an ambient, one of the wonderful ambient, one of the wonderful inside, and they wanted to change the entire wall painting. They wanted to change the ambient. The entry will be changed. There will be a new park. They say that actually the peoples are working continuously, and in fact they give morning tiffin, afternoon lunch, and evening snack, and night dinner. Everything is given by the company itself. People are working. Some people are staying back 2 hours, 3 hours. They work. They say that I am so happy to be here. This is very surprisingly I was hearing that. And one more thing is actually what happened. The company has given the UK company has given lot of changes to the employees. They conduct motivational classes. In fact, I took a motivation once for their employees. And in fact, I took a motivation class across Tamil Nadu and Andhra for more than 60 engineering colleges. This is one of my passion. And the next one, operations and maintenance optimization. Yes, this is one of the most important thing. Operation and maintenance optimization. Reduce. This is where exactly we need to know. And waste reduction. In total building, the waste reduction should be there. In all the aspects, the waste will be reduced, and the disposal of the waste will be reduced. It will be minimized. And components of what is the components of green building? It is an energy efficient and renewable energy, solar power, and water efficiency, use of water, how this has to be recycled and used, and how the water has to be used efficiently, and environmentally preferable building. That is materials used and specification, waste reduction, and toxic reduction, and indoor air quality, and smart growth and sustainable development. Sudhakar Rao, can you just mute you? Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Smart growth and sustainable development. These are all the things are the green building component. Okay. What are the green buildings are there in India? There are beautiful buildings are there in India. To be very honest, I have seen that Sarojji green building in Hyderabad, actually one of the amazing building. And one should see that whenever any chance come, actually you should take a chance to see the green building and what exactly the speciality is there. The first name of in the green building list is Suslan One Earth, located in Pune, one of the wonderful building. This building received a LEED Platinum rating in 2010. The principal architect of Suslan One Earth is Charles Benninger. They designed the building. He designed the building in such a way that 90% of the building receives the natural daylight. This is something very amazing information. And the CAI, that is Confederation of Indian Industry, Sarojji Godrej Green Business Center, Hyderabad, and ITC Maurya, New Delhi, and Jawaharlal Nehru Bhavan, New Delhi. These are all the things has been developed in India. Now they are expecting in India, it is going to be a 1 lakh, more than 2 lakh green building is going to be there in 2025. This is for the expectation. And ITC Green Center, Gurgaon. Of course, Gurgaon and Noida, that IT area itself will be a very big thing actually. And Infinity Benchmark, Calcutta, and Braintree, the Raintree Hotel in Chennai, Ramanajar IT Park in Chennai, which is amazing. It has been developed by TCS Tata. The IT Park is one of the wonderful thing actually which I have seen. I have seen many of the IT building, but Ramanajar IT Park is one of the best actually. And Infosys Limited, Mysore, which is a separate world. And in fact, I have seen from the outside only. It is a separate world. And I get Knowledge Center Noida, and Bank of India Goa, and Biodiversity Conservation India Limited in Bangalore. This is Biodiversity Park. This is the photo which I am showing here is a biodiversity conservation in India, and Olympia Tech Park in Chennai. That is also one of the landmark area, landmark IT Park in Chennai. So this actually, I just wanted to project you that what exactly the presently that IT parks with green building certifications given to those buildings actually. Okay. Now let us see that what is the objective of the green building. See, the green buildings are designed to reduce the overall impact on human health and natural environmental by the following ways. What way? Using energy, using water and other resources effectively by reducing the wastewater and pollution and environmental degradation. This is one of the most important thing. Don't think that I am taking classes for IBBA environmental class. It is not like that. But these are all the basic things we need to know. And fundamental principles of green building. What is the fundamental principles of green building? The green buildings are generally, it will be a structure design efficiency, energy efficiency, water efficiency, and material efficiency, and waste reduction and toxic reduction. These are all the most important fundamental principles in the green building. Whenever you go to any architect who is designing a green building, if you ask, you'll put up all these things in that actually. They will not just like that, okay, daylight is required, that is enough. No, it is not like that. They will go for the in-depth concept, in-depth for designing each and everything. What will be the effect on that? You ask any of the architect who is designing the green building, they will take each and everything. They will consider each and everything. And let us see that one by one on that actually. Structure efficiency, it is a concept of sustainable building and has largest impact on cost and performance. Many used to say, no, green building will, it will be very costly. Yes, let it be. But the energy saves. It is going to be a very big thing, very huge thing. And it is going to save you the cost. Maybe initially it will be 10% or 20%, something like that. But it is not that. On a longer run, we'll have to see, we can save the money. We can take the entire cost, whatever the cost you are saving, you can collect. It aims to minimize the environmental impact associated with the life cycle. In fact, I told you about life cycle. So this is what exactly on the structure efficiency. And water efficiency. To minimize water consumption, one should aim to use the water has been collected, used, purified, and reused. This is one of the best concepts. Really. Why? Because what happened? There are most of the modern technologies has been used in this particular thing. Whenever you go to toilet, there will be a recycled water will be there for flushing, treated water. It will be like a good water. The pH level will be very good whenever you test the water. And the mechanism used in the EWC, there will be two things will be there. One is minimum water flushing, the other one is maximum water flushing. There will be a differentiation will be there. The taps used also will be totally different. And the power, it will be controlled by modernized power. Whenever you enter the toilet, the light will burn. Otherwise, it will be getting switched off. That's all, automatic. And the next one is material efficiency. The material should be used that can be recycled and can generate a surplus amount of energy. Yes, this is one of the things. Let's see one of the example or solar power panel. Not only they provide lighting, but they are also useful in energy sources. And in fact, earlier actually what happened, we used to suggest our clients actually to go for a PPGL roofing. Over that actually we used to keep the solar panel. Now one of the company has come, actually we can go for a straight away, directly go for a solar energy roof panel straight away, by which actually you'll be saving the cost. There is no need for PPGL. I was surprised, and in fact he has given me a lot of photographs actually, which he has shown to us actually. This has happened just a month back. And waste reduction, it is a probable to you reuse resources. What may be waste to us may have another benefit to something else. True. Whatever the waste papers you are wasting and you are disposing, that will be used for some other purpose. So this will be recycled waste has to be used for some other purpose. This is what one of the most important in the green building. Okay, what are the sustainable green building material that can be used in construction? What are the material? Bamboo. In fact, when bamboo was told, I don't know how many of you know that one of the company I have seen in Bangalore, they use erect bamboo building for the army in Assam and other forest area. They were taking order, they were erecting only bamboo houses, bamboo camp houses. You will not believe, it is amazing. One of the wonderful bamboo houses. When you go inside, actually, you will not feel like you are inside the bamboo house at all. Very wonderfully finished, very nicely decorated inside. Such a wonderful thing. So bamboo and precast concrete slab. Yes, hollow core slab, precast slab. All these things can be used, and cork and straw bales and recycled plastics. Recycled plastic, I will show you some of the photographs. And reclaimed wood. And reclaimed wood actually we can use. And reclaimed or recycled steel, which can be used. And plant-based polyurethane rigid foam concrete, all these things. Sheep's wool, rammed earth, and hempcrete. Hempcrete is one of the weightless, but beautifully they are making a blocks and they are making a houses also. And mycelium and ferroc and timbercrete and terrazzo. So these are all the materials which can be used as a green building in green building material. Okay, we have seen what is green building. We have seen concept. We have seen what is required. Now let's see that what is the merits and demerits in the green building. The merits are very high. Merits are more. Let's see that merit. It's an efficient technology, true, because the energy which you are taking inside the building is amazing. So the easier maintenance. It is an easier maintenance. So it will be very good technology. A return on investment. Whatever you invest, you will get a return. I have seen that actually that the green building, whoever that certification is there actually people occupy very quickly. Many of the companies in Chennai, I have seen most of the green buildings are occupied by big companies. And so what happened? Return on investment for the builder. for the ITEPAC owner. And improved indoor air quality, energy efficient and water efficient. In fact, we have seen all these things. And waste reduction, temperature moderation. Yes, this temperature moderation can be achieved through continuous in building design and site selection, as well as including trees in the property development planning. Yes, temperature moderation, green, vertical garden. You can see the vertical garden, rooftop garden, and trees around surrounding the entire area, planting the wonderful trees. Maybe see what happened after a years come. Actually, what happened? You will be in the center of the forest. You feel like that. This is what kind of a temperature moderation, and water conservation, of course, which is more important in any of the green building, and economic construction for poor healthier lifestyle and improved health. And coming to the demerits, initial cost is high. This is one thing actually they will say, but it is not like that. On a long term, you will have more advantages. You will have more profit. Availability of material. There is one thing is there. You'll have to use the material within some radius, and you are not supposed to import or something like that. Whatever is there within your radius, you can use. Need more time to construction. You'll have to stage by stage. You'll have to do. You'll have to, when you are taking the top earth, you'll have to preserve the top earth, because it is one of the most important in that actually. So it will take time and it has to be reused. And there are so many things which will have a time to wait. So this is one thing. And need skilled worker. Here actually what happened, there is a need of skilled workers there. So this is where the demerit. But when compared to that, actually merits are very high. So we can definitely go in for the merits on green building. See, you can see that this is an all-core slab. You can see here that how the construction, everything is there. This is a fly ash bricks, and this is a bamboo. See, what they are constructing a bamboo called up a shelter. And the top one here, actually, this is recycled plastic, which has been constructed so beautifully in Netherlands. Actually, this is one of the house actually which has been constructed with the recycled plastic. And see, you can see here for most of the lighting for 24 hours, I mean sorry, for 12 hours, whatever the timing is there for sunrise to sunset, you'll get a whole natural lighting will be there inside the shed. This is how it is being constructed. And here mcrete, using mcrete, how the building has been built here. See, there are technologies are there. Only thing is that we'll have to know the technology, how this is being used in different kind of material, green building material. So we have seen almost everything, but let's see that what is the concept and policy in India. The lead certification is the first one which has come in the world actually. The leadership in energy environmental design is the most widely used green building rating system in the world. Yes, available for virtually all building types. LEED provides framework for healthy, highly efficient, and cost-saving green building. The most important thing, healthy, highly efficient, and cost-saving in a green building. The green building policy and codes in India is National Building Code, BIS, ECBC is nothing but Energy Conservation Building Code, and BEE. BEE is nothing but Bureau of Energy Efficiency. EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. For any of the project, if you are going for a big project, the EIA is more important. EIA you have to obtain. Water and air consent to be obtained. And Ministry of Forest and Environment and Forest. These are all the things actually which are into policy creators, and we have the ruling. Now, there are 3 primary rating systems in India. See, why? Because I'm just giving you all these things. Actually, we need to know before going for green building, what are the certifications are there, who will give the certification, what kind of certification they are giving, what is the rate of certification is there, what kind of uh, ratings are there. These are all the things we should know. So the GRIA is an acronym for Green Rating for Integrated Habitat Assessment. The GRIA is a Sanskrit word meaning abode, that is human habitat, that is building. It will interact with the environment with the various ways. This is what exactly it means GRIA. TERI, that is the Energy Resources Institute. And see, these both the things were joined together. The TERI and US Green Building are jointly, the Council of US GBC, US Green Building Council, have announced a strategic collaboration to advance and high performance buildings in India and Southeast Asia. So they jointly working on the green building concept. So this is what exactly is there. Then coming to ADASH. The ADASH is nothing but Association for Development and Research of Sustainable Habitats. It will work along with the GRIA. The ADASH is a platform to facilitate a pan-India for ongoing interaction and networking between building professionals and developers and government officials in association with TERI and MNRE. MNRE is nothing but Ministry of New Renewable Energy, which is they will work along with other people to do that. Okay, MNRE, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. The alternative system that soon followed is the Green Rating for Integrated Habitat Assessment, which has been conceived by the Energy Resources Institute, that is TERI, and jointly developed by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, that is MNRE, as the national rating system for building. This is that actually MNRE. IGBC. IGBC formed in the year 2001. The aim of IGBC is actually council is to bring the building movement in India and facilitate India to become one of the global leader in green building. There are a lot of systems and procedures are there in green building. After registration, you'll have to undergo each and everything from the site selection to construction and completion and handover. And during the course of construction, during the phase of construction, each stage there will be an audit will be there from IGBC, and the audit will be supported by they will take photographs, they will take mandatory document, they will take whatever your documentations you are giving. It is not very stringent, but it has to go along with that, the procedure. But it's a non-negotiable. They will not negotiate for everything. So they will go ahead with strict monitoring the whole thing and until the completion. Once everything they are satisfied, that the rating of the building will be given. This is what exactly the IGBC is doing. The project can apply for IGBC Green Home certification if it can meet all mandatory requirements and achieve the minimum required point. The green home should meet certain mandatory requirements which are non-negotiable. Very clear. They are working on a very clear mandatory requirement as per Green Building Council. So they will check each and every stage. They will audit every stage. They will consider whichever is as per the mandatory requirement. They will go ahead. They will record everything. They will not say that no, you don't do it like that and all. They will say that it has to satisfy the green building norms and requirement. This is what exactly they will say. There are auditors, or many auditors are there. They will help you for taking the green building certification. In India, the IGBC rating system is like this. What? The certified level of points, which is green building certified building, is only green building certification. So that means it will have a point between 51 to 60. There are some buildings in Chennai, in fact, even in Bangalore, the old buildings which has been retrofitted, and they try to take a certification. Of course, they could not able to achieve for the entire level, but they will maintain that 51 to 60, with which they will take a green building certified building. Because why? Because that green building certified certification is taken for some of the commercial building, there actually what happened, it will attract the customers, it will attract the foreign client, it will attract some of the company where they wanted to, they wanted their employees to be worked inside the green building, because the advantages are more for the employees. It will be an healthier and it will give you more productivity. This is what exactly peoples are looking at it. Actually they are interested. And I have seen, actually I was told, one of my client actually, sir, my IT park was never be vacant, and we have a list of peoples also in our list. That is, once somebody vacates, they are ready to occupy. There is a building which is in Mahindra World City in Chennai, and that IT park, one of our customer relations manager, he told me once, we went for some of the audit along with one of my people. And in fact, incidentally, I am a lead auditor, safety, quality assurance, and environmental. So we have done one of the audit for one of my senior. So we have done the entire thing. So that time actually he was mentioning, sir, people are interested in taking up the green building. They wanted green building because what happened, there will be a reduction in electricity consumption. Not only that, actually, they maintain the entire the IT park in a very wonderful way. In that, actually what happened, when you enter inside the building, you will feel like something different, because we have seen most of the IT parks. Actually, when we entered, I have seen some of the IT parks. We have done recently one of the IT park valuation, which was vacant. To be honest, actually, in many of the IT parks, they vacated. In one of the IT park, actually, when they started work from home, of course, that is not a green building. More than 200, 250 people are working in that IT park. They vacated. The entire IT park is IT park 1 to 4 floors are vacant. Balance 4 floors are occupied. People are working with a minimum workforce. But in other areas, it was totally vacated, and they are unable to pay the, see, 1,20,000 square feet. If suppose if you are paying, see, green building is generally, normally it will be 100 to 120 rupees per square feet, whereas non-green building, actually it will be fetching only 60 or 70. That is the maximum. So this is how actually the scenario is running because of the pandemic. Well, let us hope that after the pandemic, there will be a good growth will be there. This is what the expectation. So the certified level is actually 51 to 60. Most of the old building, I told you that one of the building, they can convert, they can retrofit, they can do the entire thing. They can take the certification, whatever required they will have to install, with which they can take the certification to the more grade. This is possible. And green building, certified building will be have a points of between 51 to 60. What is a silver reserve? Silver is between 61 to 70. And gold, the gold rating will be one of the wonderful thing. Many of the IT parks which has a gold and platinum, and gold is 71 to 80 rating. The rating has to be 71 to 80. And platinum, the platinum is 81 to 100. It is not that actually just you take in first time you take the rating and you maintain, you take that. It is not that. After taking the certificate, you'll have to maintain. You'll have to maintain for the entire period, entire life cycle of the building. They will have a periodic inspections will be there, and audit will be there. After the audit, they will submit whether it is maintained or not. So that is why actually many of the green building, which is an IT park, they are maintaining in a very fantastic way. When I started one of the IT park, actually when they were doing that, actually we were doing some work for them actually. So when I visited, actually when the IT park started, you will not believe, actually they will planting a small trees. Now when I went during the last 3 months back or something like that, it is something, the entire building is inside the forest. The feel is like that. The trees are grown up like anything, and the entire thing is maintained very well. And one of the most important thing is maintaining the building. Maintaining the building is very important. That too in the pandemic situation, because nobody will be there, only minimum staffs will be there, and with which also they are maintaining. Sir, somebody has opened that switch off the mic. Can somebody? Shall I?
Sir, I'm checking.
Who is that? Yeah, please. It disturbs others. Okay. Now we have seen green building, we have seen object, we have seen concept, and we have seen what is a green building, and we have seen the rating. And what is the green environmental benefit? For the society, it is an habits of cycle, recycle, and mobility and communication. It involves because of the society. And coming to the economy, the time saving accessibility and investment infrastructure, which is more important. Investment infrastructure. This is much more important in the economy. And ecology, and that is environmental impacts and natural resources. That will react in between that actually on the ecology. So this is exactly the benefit. Let's see some more benefits also in our upcoming slides. The benefits of environmental benefits, it has a protect biodiversity and ecosystem, and it will have an improve air and water quality. That is 100%, and reduce waste streams. The entire waste will be reduced in the during the course of entire thing, whatever the operations happen, and conserve natural resources. It conserve natural resources. This is an environmental benefit. What is the economic benefit? It will reduce operating costs. It create and expand and shape market for a green product and service. It create, expand, and shape market for green product and service, which is more important. This will give you more product and service and improve occupants product and services. I told you one of the IT park, every 3 years they change the entire thing. Why? To improve the product, to improve the occupants product. The entire that GM of the IT park was telling me, sir, we changed the entire thing to improve the, almost we are in the green building only. Even then we do that because it is in our policy. This is something different, which I have seen. Improve occupants productivity, which is more important. I have seen many of the IT park green building, the accidents are minimum. The fire accidents are minimum. We have not seen fire accident. We have seen non-green building actually fire accidents, many we have seen. In fact, last 2 months back, couple of months back, actually we have seen one of the fire accidents, and we went for assessing the value. What is the value damaged actually in the fire incident? That is not a green building. That's a conventional building, which has lot of lacunas were found. The cables were not taken in the tray. It was clubbed together. There is no tying up was there. The cables were not running the tray at all. Cable tray was not there in some of the area. In most of the area, it was not there. But these are all the things are more important. Whenever you do the work in green building, the entire thing, each and everything will be taken considered. The next one is social benefit. What is the social benefit? Enhance occupants' comforts and health. You see that one day you sit in the natural air. The moment actually you will be doing a survey work. For our own example, we will be doing, we as a civil engineer will be doing a survey work. After the survey, whenever we get any tree under the shadow, if you go and stand there, you will feel the comfort. You will feel the happiness. You will feel really we will feel enjoy that time will be at least 10 minutes or whatever it may be. But that will be more comfort. You feel like sleeping. And many of the people are going to the forest for taking rest. Nowadays, actually, what happened, the concept of villa in forest area, that has become more. But if you go to any of the IT park, which is having a green building, that will be amazing. It will be totally different. And in fact, it's my own experience, which I am sharing here. They enhance occupants' comfort and health and highest aesthetic qualities. This is there. This is there. Any of the IT park you take, the ambient, aesthetic, everything is very amazing. And minimize strain on local infrastructure and improve overall quality of life. Yes, generally, if you get good air, you'll be more happy. Everybody knows that during the pandemic, everybody was suffering for the oxygen. One of the more important thing. But if you go there, actually, you will feel that. You will feel that. the comfort will be there in any of the green building. This is what is more important in any of the green building which is expected. Okay, now we have seen green building. What exactly green building? Everything we have seen. Let's see that what are the commonly asked questions in green building. Who certifies green building in India? In India, the IGBC, the Green Indian Green Building Council, is the people who are certifying the green building. The green building was formed by the Confederation of Indian Industry in 2001. It was opened by then our President Abdul Kalam ji. The council is based out of CAEG Sarojji Green Business Center, Hyderabad, which is India's first platinum rated green building. See, these are all the basic things as a value we should know. Generally, of course, everybody knows. The vision of the council is to enable sustainable built environment for all. The aim is actually, the vision is sustainable built environment for all, for everyone. Okay. What are the 4 levels of LEED certification or IGBC certification? The project pursuing LEED certification earn points for various green building strategies across several categories based on the number of points achieved. A project earned one of more LEED rating level. I told you what is certified building, 51 to 60, and silver rating, gold rating, and platinum. Platinum is the highest. How do green building work? This is the commonly generally asked questions which I just wanted to share. The green buildings are designed to reduce the overall impact of the built environment on human health and natural environment by efficiently using energy, water, and other resources, and protecting occupant health and improving employee productivity. That is reducing waste, pollution, and environmental degradation. This is what exactly the green building do. See, generally what happens in any of the green building, the overall impact of environment by efficiently used energy, that is the greatest thing, and water conserved and water waste is reduced, and other resources, and protecting the occupant, which is more important, and protecting the occupant health and improving employee productivity and reducing waste and pollution on environmental degradation. These are all the things are works on the green building. This is how it works. Does green building cost more? Yes. Now we are coming to our line. The high performing buildings can sold at premium. Generally, I have seen many of the IT park with green building has sold up very quickly. Not only here, across the country. With average green building worth 7% more than its traditional counterpart. Green buildings on an average are 14% less costly to operate than traditional building. They say that operational cost is less. With most new buildings today achieving significantly more energy saving than that. That is conventional building. This is what exactly the costing wise actually. But generally what happened, the IT buildings actually, as per I got some of the input, though IGBC says that actually it will be 2% more, but it is actually 15 to 20%. There will be a cost differences there. What is the green sustainable? Somebody can switch off. Please mute yourself. What is green and sustainable building? What is a green and sustainable building? A green or sustainable building is a building that, because of its construction and features, can maintain or improve the quality of life of the environment in which it is located. So location is also more important for any of the building. You cannot have the building on north south. Generally, the design will be like that actually, in such a way they will see that sun path. They will say that sun path. If you ask any of the architect, in fact, the working on green building is something amazing, something different. In fact, I have presented a paper in last year, one of the university. I have presented a paper, how to design a green building, energy efficient building, how to design an energy efficient building. I'll show you the paper what I presented. In fact, that paper has got, luckily, that paper I got a national award I got it. In fact, I got a cash award also. During pandemic, I started doing like that. Of course, my interest is on green building, so I started writing that actually. I will show that paper also to you in the meeting. What is a green and sustainable building? A green sustainable building is a building that because of its construction and features can maintain improved quality of life of the environment in which it is located. That is what very clearly. So the location is also more important for any of the green building. So do green buildings save money? This is a generally asked question, which I just wanted to have that. Operating cost will be, the green buildings have shown save money through reduced energy. True. And water consumption and lower long-term operations and maintenance costs. This is very true. Why do green buildings cost less? Why do green building cost less? A green building costs less than a conventional building. The green building market has matured such that we can say that certainty, the hard data and performance prove that when first cost of green building considered with the direct energy saving and green building cost less than a conventional building. See, though it is a cost wise, actually it will be more, some minimum percentage it will be more. But the cost saved by the green building is amazing. The cost saved by the green building is an excellent. We are getting a lot of advantage over the energy saving. This is what exactly it says on the green building cost, whether it is less or more. See, why? Because we have just given you the feedback on what is green, what is required, what is important to know about each and everything. Because before going for a valuation, we as a valuer, we need to know all these inputs on the valuation. That is why we have just given that actually. Let us go into our subject, valuation on some of the inputs. I am just trying to study on valuation perspective on green building. Sir, somebody can mute your mic, sir. Thirumangalam, Thirunagalingam, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thirunagalingam, sir. Yeah, thank you. The sustainability encompasses a wide range of physical, social, environmental, and economic factors that can impact on value of which value should be aware. We should know what is the impact which has on physical, social, environmental, and economic factors. In fact, you know that actually many of the bank formats you can see nowadays, it started giving like this: physical, social, environmental, economic, and marketability. Nowadays, actually, all these headings has been given in each and everything. Legal, on which actually you'll have to reply each and everything. Whatever you are finding is there, you'll have to write. So we need to know the range of issues includes, but it is not limited. Some of the key risks which is involved. What are they? Flooding, energy efficiency, climate, design, design configuration, accessibility, and legislation. These are all the things are more important in any of the value, whether it is for environment, whether it is for green building or non-conventional, both are same. Whether it is not differentiate, both are same. All or any of this impact on market value, whether it is fair market, market rent, investment value, the potential or actual impact on sustainable factors should be considered and and where appropriate recognized at all time. These are all the things which has to be recognized, considered at all time. This is what is more important to be understand on this. The type, size, and location of property will have a significant influence on the extent to which sustainability features are likely to impact on a market investment value. This is true. The size, type, location of the property will have a significant influence. If the market is good in that particular area, definitely the market value will be very high. on the extent to which the sustainability features are likely to impact on market or investment value. This includes not only it is desirability from design and accessibility point of view, but also the cost and ease of adaptability to incorporate sustainable features. As this can vary significantly between different construction and design types. It will vary. Of course, we'll have to take all inputs. What type of construction he has taken, what type of materials this has been used, and what is the actual cost they spend on that actually. What is the technology they use? What is the kind of a material which is used? Whether it is a green building or not, whether the space has been given as per the requirement, whether the ventilations are given very properly, whether all the utilities has been taken care in that, whether toilet features are according to the green building requirement, whether the same thing has been adopted in the building or not. You can see that green building and non-conventional building very clearly. It is very clear because most of the used in green buildings are so different, not like conventional building. Even rooftop tiles. In fact, in one of the IT park, actually, we had inspected after the one cyclone, one of the cyclone which has come in 14. It has got a huge effect. One of the green building which is owned by American company, of course, Indian company, they are the tenant. There actually what happened, the roof tops started leaking. So what the owner of the IT park, what he did actually, he was started removing the entire rooftop. We had been there because we were assessing the value of the damage. When we went there actually, because of the poor maintenance, they were removing the entire tile. How the tile was done? They were putting the insulation down below the roof on the RCC wall, RCC roof slab, insulation, very costly insulation, and over which actually they put some material and the tile has been laid actually. See, this kind of, one more important thing is actually, according to the weather condition, see our area weather condition, our Chennai is full of heat only, always under 33-degree temperature. In that condition, actually, you cannot have an insulation. If you are having insulation, you should maintain. Some kind of a structure has to be there, actually, you have to maintain, which is not done by the IT owner. So result in which actually what happened, got damaged. Nobody was seen there. What is the damage is occurred and all. So what has happened, water gone down, down below that insulation, it was stagnating. It started giving leaking from the roof to the top portion. So this kind of a thing, actually, this is why that green building always say that you should use local material within 200-kilometer radius, all green approved material to be used in that actually. Now, of course, everywhere actually you are getting material. That is not a big issue at all. You will get a green building material everywhere. 1 minute. I'll just have a small glass of water with your permission, please. So I'll connect to. Just 2 minutes, sir. Excuse me, sir, please. The type and size and location of the property will have a significant influence on the extent to which sustainable features are also likely to impact on market and investment value. This includes not only to its desirability from the design and accessibility point of view, but also the cost and ease adaptability to incorporate sustainable features, as this can vary significantly between different construction and different design types. I told you, finally what happened, that building owner has changed the entire roof. Oh my God, please, sir, my request, please, till completion, please mute your mic so that I can able to present. We can have a discussions later on also. So it is a real example. And in fact, later on, actually what happened, that building owner actually thought, having spent so much, They wanted to go in for a certification, green building certification. They've done a lot of retrofitting. They went in for a green building certified building, but they have not taken either gold or platinum or silver. They got only the gold certification. Why? Because I'm telling, see, whenever you see value, sometimes actually the cost consultants will be involved right from the designing of green building. You'll be associating with the client as well as architect right from the beginning. Cost consultants are many cost consultants are there. They will be involved with that. Generally, the cost consultants actually, whenever it goes to the bank, actually they will depend on registered value or 35 AB value. They'll take a signature, or they will ask them to do the evaluation. This is where actually our role is involved. We'll have to see whether it is a conventional building or whether it is a green building, how the building has to differentiate it. I told you specification, material use, whether it is energy saving or whether it is costlier. See, in this building, when I went for a valuation of this particular building, the insulation is not at all required for our Indian climate. If you are doing that, actually, you should have some protective method of thing has to be done, some kind of a thing. In fact, in one of the building we have seen beautifully that building rooftop was covered with the solar panel. Beautiful. That building owner is only he is a doll manufacturer. You'll be surprised to see he's a doll manufacturer. He was having more idea, more intelligent than that other building, IT building owner. There actually what happened, it was failed. But whereas this building, the person who is constructed with a so big building, production building, he has covered the entire rooftop with the solar this one, and he has got a certification for that building. So this is how one has to see that actually what happened, the worth of the building will be there, worth of the building will go high. Indirectly it saves a lot of things. Okay, what is the value role in doing the green building valuation? What is the role? When collecting data on property for valuation, the valuers are advised to expand their basic data collection. More important, he has to collect the data basically to include a record of any sustainability factor, which is more important. What are the sustainable factors are there? What are the other things are there which is relevant to requirement for the green building? Even if they do not current impact on value, you collect just for important. Through expanding the data available within the market, you can also collect data through the market. And valuers are contributing to the improvement of knowledge within the profession by establishing information based on sustainability of market comparable. Whenever you are doing some valuation for IT park, you need to see that comparability, which is more important. Comparable sale. If there is no sale is there, how do you do? That is where actually our important things will come. We'll have to give the weightages. We'll have to compare. We'll have to see the location. We'll have to see the other important factors has to be considered, and we'll have to give a proper weightages, and we'll have to consider each and everything. That is what the more important. An essential exercise when valuing new built properties, for example, valuing existing stock, is it is recognized that such properties due to the period at which they were built, okay, but may not meet current environmental standard. That is what I was telling you. The recently constructed building, he was doing that according to the present environmental standard, but whereas the old building doesn't have the environmental standards at all. In fact, I had one of an experience in one of the IT park, which is a conventional building, which was converted into IT park. Suddenly there was a fire broke one day. The reason behind is actually what happened, the cables were running at the rooftop. It was running on the tray only, but that cables which has used in that particular IT park, which is not as per the standard. This is why that power cable has got fired. When the entire thing was opened actually for inspection, we have seen why the fire. My electrical engineer visited the site. He was an ex divisional engineer from EB, and he has given a very big wonderful note on that. Actually, he has found out the situation, how it has happened, why it has happened, why this has happened, why this has to be done like this, why they are not done. So these are all the questionnaires which has been seen. So these are all the real experience. So that is why actually what happened, the standards are more important, which in most of the jurisdiction have risen significantly over the recent years. Yes, nowadays actually what happened, last 2 years back actually what happened, there was a one hospital with a 250 bed. They wanted to go for a green building. The first question which I asked is whether you are ready to go do everything according to the practice or according to the green building norm. I asked the client, I told them, because we are the PMC, we told them very clearly. Number one is actually you have to adopt whatever the practice is there. Because what happened, he is a very big builder. He never bother anyone. He wanted to do only as per his practice. But he has agreed. He has told, yes, sir, I'll do. And the architect and everybody to work along with the green consultant, lead architect. So they were all worked together and it was done. Very beautifully done. Each and everything, each and every material selected for that particular project, everything was done in a coordination. Though the project was taken apart from normal building to green building, there was some time lag was there, but even then it was more care was taken to do that actually. See why? Because what happened, in fact, the value when we have taken up the entire thing, on completion of the entire thing, the book value, it was slightly more, not very big, slightly, maybe 10 to 15% more it was there. That is what we assessed, because we used AAC blocks, we used whatever the earth we have just removed 30, 45 feet actually from the ground, that has been reused actually in the building. And there are so many other things has been considered in each and every part, each and every part. So not only might this affect the weighting given to the analysis, I told you, weighting analysis, weighted method of valuation, each and every building, conventional, non-conventional, how it has to be done. There will be a non-conventional building which has been sold in the market, but there is no comparison there. But you need to do the comparison. You have to give the weightages. You have to arrive that. So you'll have to do that very systematically for comparing that sale transaction. How much weightages has to be given for increasing the value for the green building. So these are all the things which is more important. Of course, if I start doing that particular calculation, this 1 hour is not sufficient. Because what happened, which is more important, is weighted average method, indexing method, or cost discount cash flow method, or capitalization rate method, income capitalization rate method. These are all the things are more important for the green building valuation. We will come into that actually. So not only might this affect the weighting given to the analysis of the comparable evidence, but value should take view, if necessary, supported by additional investigations. Yes, additional investigations on what? There are lot of parameters, not only location, not only that particular area, other factors, each and everything. You'll have to have a checklist kind of a thing. I will show you some of the checklists which I have prepared based on my own institution, which they are given. Actually, I'll just share you. By a sustainable specialist, you can consult sustainable specialist. In fact, stigma valuation is something different. Sigma valuation, we did one of the factory. Luckily, we got one of the university nearby that. We went to the university, we consulted that environmental department. He was so helpful. The professor was so helpful. He helped us. We have done a survey. We have taken a survey on a contamination around the area, contamination around the factory, which is around 4 villages are there. 8 students they have spared me, 8 students for collecting the data. And we collected the data. We have just formulated the entire thing for analysis. And what is the contamination for the past 30 years which is happening? What is the level of contamination? And how it can be remediated? How it can be rectified? What is the cost which will be involved in that? And how long it will take to remediate? So these are all the things which have been taken. So like that, actually, we need to take during the investigation, if required any sustainability specialist, we can take an input from them. We can take an input from all the people, which is specialized, which is related to that. And as to likely ability to bring the property up to the modern standard at cost that is economic. See, I told you, the comparison is such a very wonderful thing. I don't know how many of you are having uh, R.K. Gandhi book, one of the wonderful book. I'm telling you, he is my. I can have that as my Bible. Whenever any doubt is there, we can take that and compare. Sir, whether it is gives you the modern outlook will be there. You know that where we are. We know that actually what exactly we are looking for. Everything is there. I suggest actually my humble request to the valuers, please buy a Gandhi book. Have that. That is one of the wonderful books. Everything is there, and it has the modern outlook and how it has to be valued according to the modern standards at a cost that is an economic. We'll have to arrive at that. So value should also take into the account any special consideration, any special consideration that might apply in the case of historic building, to which extra regulatory requirements or physical constraints might apply. We need to see what are the things are there, what is the regulatory requirements are there, whether any physical constraints are there, what is the difference between that, and what is the weightage which we can able to give, how much we can give. And in fact, one of surprisingly what happened, in fact, one of my senior valuer, in fact, he suggested me, you are not supposed to take like that, you'll have to take it. One thing I'll tell you, my dear friends, you'll have to consult your seniors for any of the assignment or any complex assignment. Don't shy yourself. Try to ask the senior valuer, consult with him, take his experience, try to adapt. Don't do it on your own. My humble request is consult your valuer, consult your senior valuer, or consult your institute. They may give you some idea, they may give you some way out. So that is how you'll have to do. See, nowadays actually what happens, that rule, law, everything is very stringent. So you'll have to be more careful in doing each and every valuation. So in order to identify the assess sustainability, the features proficiently, values should continuously seek to improve their knowledge of sustainability. Today, when I took the class, I told that right from the morning, I was telling you what is the concept, what is the green building, what is the features, what is the benefit, what is the merit, what is the demerit, what is it work, how it works. Why? Because I am telling, because we as the valuer should have the knowledge of sustainability. We as the valuer should have the knowledge of green building. We as the valuers should know the basic inputs on valuation. We know that who is there to approve for the certification. In green building, certification is also part of big important requirement, because when a building is green building, it saves energy, automatically it saves energy. So so the values are required to be improve their knowledge, so that they are fully aware of any new development that may have an impact on value. They will have an impact, they will have a total impact on value because of the sustainability. This includes new technologies. Yes, I told you morning, they use foam concrete, they use Porotham blocks, they use AAC blocks, different way, and they use structural glazing, they use different painting inside, they use different painting outside. In the rooftop, they'll be laying a different reflector tiles they are used, and they use solar panel slabs over the top. So these are all the things, technology. What is the building use a latest technology, which we can able to aware, which we need to know, which we need to know. And legislation. Why the legislation is coming here? It is must, because as per the legislation, legally, as per the zoning, you need to give a setback, whether the building is constructed as per the setback, whatever the government norms, whether it is forming as per the legislation, as per the zoning, all the things are more important. These are also form and part of it. We need to take the entire thing in our data requirement for the valuation of the entire thing. So this includes new technologies, legislation, and public policy. Why public policy? Yes, it should not be objected by somebody. It should be equal to everyone. It should not be objected by anyone. It should be accepted by everyone. The moment I went to one of the IT park in Pune, I was surprised the way the front which they given for greenery development. Amazing, the greenery. The moment you enter, you feel like happy. Your mental changes. Your mind changes to the open, the green energy. That is something different. And fiscal measures, which is more important whenever you do technology, legislation, physical policy, fiscal policy, all these measures as well as the wider markets attributes. The market attitudes are more important towards sustainability. These all the things are more important for values. The values are required to update their knowledge, update to know. Whenever you do that, you should know that. If you are not knowing this, actually it is very difficult. We cannot able to give a weightage. You see that one of the problem which has been given in the archive book on the book actually for the weightages, how the weightages has been taken, how the weightages has given for that particular building. So these are all the things will be adapted here. This is how it will be taken. So we as a valuer, we should weigh. We should take the entire, we should know the knowledge. This is what is more important. So valuing the building sustainable characteristics. Let us come to what are the things are required to be taken out in the sustainability journey for the value. So you can see here, whenever the increasing value, how it will happen. Whenever the increasing opportunity, the increasing value will be there. This is a scenario. So the collecting evidence, inspection and other investigation. The collecting evidence and inspections and other investigations are more important in our valuation. If you are not collecting evidence, if it is not possible for us to do the comparable transactions, it is not possible. In fact, yesterday we got an assignment, and in fact, luckily we got a comparable evidence. We got it actually in the market. That is, we got an EC. One of the property was sold during the pandemic time for that particular value. We'll have to establish that it is sold for that 3,000 to 3,500 rupees per square feet. That area we have seen, that is location. But collecting evidence is something very tricky. You'll have to put your knowledge. You'll have to put your, see, a valuer is not only a valuer, he is a CID. He is a civil engineer. He is an architect. He is an invigilant officer. Everything. A valuer is a role of everything. He is a master of all subjects. See, you can see that in IBBA, they taught all subjects: general law, legal law, real estate law, economics, statistics. Everything has been given. Why? We, as a valuer, we should know, because we are directly related to the economical development. We should give the correct role. That is where our stand is there. So the evidence is more important, and inspection. The inspection is more important. I have told many of the stories. People not going to the site, they will do the valuation. That is wrong. We need to go. That is more important. We need to go for a site inspection, and we'll have to do. That is more important. And other investigation. What is other investigation? Sir, you will be taking the survey number, but you'll have to do the investigation, whether the survey number is correct, whether the zoning is correct. These are all the things we need to take. Apart from that, what are the sustainable details has been given for the project, which is more important. What is the related to green buildings, whatever is there, what is the materials they have used, whether the material has been used in that site or not, and what is the walls has been used, whether really the ventilation is there or not, whether they are having a rainwater harvesting or not. So these are all the green building requirements. We need to see everything, and how their toilets and bathrooms has been used, any new technological taps has been used or not. This is required. The valuer has to see each and everything during the inspection, and they will have to investigate. If you have a doubt, on that particular topic or any other matter, you'll have to do the investigation. You'll have to find out whether what you are doing is right or wrong. So the investigation is more important. You'll have to do that. So coming to the key environmental risk. So the key environmental risk is more important. See, there are many environmental risks that may affect the property. Extreme weather events such as flooding and mudslides or drought, earthquakes and tornadoes are becoming more common in some locations. I told you that Varda cyclone has affected that building. All the building structural glazing has some portion has got damaged because of the Varda cyclone. But that means what? You'll have to take care of that while you're doing the design. You'll have to see that your architect role is more important. The energy efficient building, whenever somebody is designing that, there actually it is more important is actually they'll have to design, they'll have to consider all the matters, all the factors, they'll have to consider everything. At what kilometer there is an experience, what is the kilometer cyclone wind has passed during the past 50 years or 100 years. You can get that meteorological department, you get that detail. So you'll have to design the building accordingly. So that is one of the most important role for the architect who is designing the building. But you need to find out why it has fallen, why it has. See, just for an academic interest also, you can know how the glass has fallen, whether the glass has been designed for that particular wind velocity, whether the glass has a required thickness is there or not. In fact, in some of the places I have seen, the party will place the order for 20 thickness, but the glass has been laid with the 15 or 14 or 12 thickness structural glazing. This also may be a reason. That means there is a lack in inspection. There is lack in established construction. There is a lack in construction is there. That is how it has happened. So while in some regions, environmental risks are routinely built into valuation. The increasing incidence of extreme weather event, the impact of rising sea level and temperature changes have all the significantly increased the number of properties at risk. This is more in Bombay or Chennai or anywhere. In Cochin, the increase the number of properties at risk. This is true. Further, the increasing inclination of government to legislate to mitigate where possible against the climate change implications present in the changing regulatory framework within which valuations took place. It is not just the impact of climate change that presents environmental risk. The natural resources depletion, that is soil and air pollution and rising levels of waste material produced all present risks that require management. One of the important beautiful thing I just wanted to tell you, while constructing in the more buildings in California long back, there are a lot of construction waste has been generated. So the government has come forward. Actually, they put in all effort to how to reduce the waste generated by the construction waste. They thought actually, wow, this can be used, reused. They have done. They have done. This is one of the very wonderful experience which has been thought process. So value should ensure that as far as possible, update information on the key risk is gathered and considered when comparing the subject property to others used as a part of the evidence base. So in doing so, the value should investigate to the extent to which such risks are insurable and to the extent to which these risks relate to the subject property alone. So the comparison is more important. That is where actually it has to be taken out. Okay, what is the key in design configuration? See, the design configuration is more important on sustainable building will generally include several key components, but usually they will have been designed to refurbish to achieve to longer life cycle, which is more important, operation cycle till the full life. So we'll have a different resources utilization and ecological footprints will have there. But we'll have a design features that impact on the factors such as heat and heat island effect, and natural and internal natural light distribution. The internal light distribution, which is very important, and natural ventilation. The natural ventilation is very important for any of the green building, and water use and water recycling and stormwater management. The stormwater management is one of the most important features in the design of configuration for any of the green building. These are the complex factors that can positively or negatively impact on the building's lettability. If suppose during rain, if the stormwater is not running, who will come to your building for a tenant? Nobody. This is one of the more important thing, as well as the building's resilience to climate change and resource depletion. This is one of the most important thing which we need to know. The next one, construction material and service. I told you a lot of construction material, green building material, which has been used for the green building construction. But during survey, this may not always be undertaken as a part of valuation. But prospective market participants will wish to consider the following. What are they? The type of building materials used, including presence of otherwise dangerous or deleterious material which cannot be used. The servicing and replacement of building material. Any retrofitting, you can see any retrofitting building which is highly dangerous, because what happened? The construction waste, one of the most important thing, the construction waste, how this is being reused. Nowadays, actually, because the government has come forward, you should not take sand, you'll have to use only M sand. And you cannot construct waste, all construction waste. People are there, they will powder the entire thing, they'll use that for refilling. There is a separate peoples are there working for that. And in fact, surprisingly, one more thing I saw, that asbestos, old asbestos or any product waste of asbestos that is being powdered ashes, that has been ashed and it can be reused. That is what is happening. So building services such as air conditioning and heating installation, it has to be seen that very frequently. If any changes are required, it has to be done. And many of the solar films, actually what happened, it is exposed to sun, weather, everything. The continuous servicing is required. Continuous monitoring is required. Any insulation has gone because of the weather condition, that has to be replaced for the better maintenance, for the better results. So energy efficient and sourcing, and water efficiency, and waste management provision. In one of the biggest IT park, the moment I went for a third time valuation, they shown me that SOP for the building, operation, maintenance, one of the wonderful SOP. And there is a special SOP for fire safety. When fire happens, who will go first? Who has to do that alarming? Who has to do the entire work? Very systematic. There is no fire at all. But even then, actually what happened? It was maintained very fully, very fantastically. There is a three motors are there. One is diesel motor. The other one is actually electrical. Other one is jacky pump is there. Whenever any power failure is there, automatically the jacky pump will start and the motor will start, DG will start. Everything automatic. They will check every 10 days once and 1 week once whether it is working very properly or not. Though there is no fire, but automatically this will go, because this is an SOP. SOP, standing operating procedure. They will do everything according to that. The extent to which these services, all the above, whatever I told, on energy, servicing, and water efficiency, waste, everything, these services are provided, and the life cycle implications inherent to certain materials may well impact on probability or financial outlay for both investors and occupiers. One of the biggest hospital, we have done that hospital for a safety audit. Entire group of hospital, we did the safety audit. We have given non-compliance report. In the NCR, we told that these are all the things to be replaced. It is required. If you are not doing, it will be a additional cost will be there. In fact, most of the things I have seen, whenever we give any NCR, that has to be replaced. That has to be done. There will be some minimum costing will be there. But it was not done. And compliance report never come back. And you will not do any final report at all. And they will not give the final payment also. That is happening everywhere. So these are the things which is there in the market. But they should educate actually themselves. They'll have to spend some minimum money. Then only it will be good for their product. So the staff productivity and health and all well-being and environmental implication. If the AC is not properly maintained, what will happen? It will not be good in the inside. So it is required. So as a non-renewable materials and insufficient services can cause avoidable negative environment and consequences. This will happen. So the value should assess the use of new technologies such as photovoltaics and solar panels and consider them within the context of local market. The technology is constantly developing and changing rapidly, and there are always said that technology is changing, but we should update our technology. We should know what is happening, what they have provided. Even if you are not knowing, also try to understand, try to know that. That will be good. They should also be aware that not all new technologies are successful. So also, in some sub-markets, prospective occupiers and investors may actively avoid properties with technologies they consider to be unprone. So you should not adopt just like that. Your client, if suppose they are having, when you are inspecting that, actually that will not work. So that also will be taken into consideration. The new technology which is not operating, which is not working in the green building, to be taken. That is a negative point. So it is also worth noting that the sustainability certain material or services can vary between the construction type, age, use, and context of the building, and that the ability and cost of the building to be upgraded to the particular sustainability standard can also be vary. Yes, the values are therefore advised to familiarize. See, again and again, there is one thing you need to familiarize, you need to understand, you need to know the standard, you need to know the technology, you need to know what exactly it is happening, what is the cost of the material today. These are all the things which is more important to understand. The next one, location and legislative location and accessibility consideration. The location is one of the very, very important, and it is normally factored into valuation. Generally, you know that it is populated area, it is a mixed area, it is a very prime area. So we will consider that some factor for our valuation. It is often assumed that for the property to be sustainable, it should be discourage car usage and to close public transport. Many of the places, IT park I have seen, they will park the car in the car parking. You'll have to walk down from there to the building. Or some battery vehicles will there. They will take you in the battery vehicle to that enter. So this is one of the good thing, because what happened, they don't want that the car to be driven there and pollute the air in that area. So however, such an approach denies the requirement of satisfying the needs of both employees and visitors. A property that depends on only primarily on public transport may simply fail on economic or use of efficiency ground. True. So it should be accessible via variety of means. Yes, you should reach to that area on any type of thing, and transport to have a sufficient parking provision to maintain the value. Definition of what sufficient will vary between the cities and countries. National and local transportation policies will relevant. These are all totally different. So we need to see that what is the area of location, how the accessibility is there to that area, and whether it is reachable very conveniently, any restrictions are there. And in fact, in one of the property we have seen, there is one way. If you are going inside the that particular property, you'll have to go for 2 kilometers and you'll have to enter into that property. This is a locational constraint, because again, if you are coming out, again, if you are going inside the house, there is no U-turn and all. You'll have to go because that is the busiest circle. So there is a constraints in that particular area with regard to the accessibility, which needs to be considered, which need to be seen. So then fiscal, legislative and consideration, uh, and we need to see the legislation and fiscal measures will vary between the countries. Of course, in our India, we have a different states are there. We have a different legislations are there, and we even see, though there are DCR is there and approved metro development authority is there. we have certain restrictions according to the state to state. So that regulations, we need to see that whether according to that is there or not. We need to see each and everything, whether the building has been constructed according to that legislation, according to the policy, according to the zone, whether they are given all the setback, whether they constructed according to the rules and regulation, whether they have taken the approval, whether they have a completion certificate. All the things are more important. All the things are more important. If suppose the high rise building is there, they should have a fire approval. Without a fire approval, actually what happened, the high rise building will not be given at all. So these are all the things one has to see, that actually whether it is there or not, including pollution certificate. So all these things need to be seen by the valuers very clearly. And planning consideration, the most important in one of the investigation is planning consideration. The the most jurisdictions have a statutory land use, yes, that is zoning, or spatial planning framework within which the development takes place. The sustainable development is defined in one of the somebody mute, please. Please, your mic is open, please. The sustainable development is a development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. It is a common. Say in one of the Environment Commission and Development, it was released in October 1987 by the Oxford. So these are all the some of the things values has to consider very clearly and very after seeing each and everything, and what is the rental and how much they are taking the rental, and these are all the things are more important. And management and leasing, when seeing to improve the building's inherent sustainability characters, owners or occupiers normally have a little option other than the refurbish. But the greenest building, if inappropriately managed, will not perform its specification. It will not perform. It will have a different meaning. So these are all the things one has to see that. And leasing issues, whether they have any leasing issues, what is the agreement they have, these are all the things one has to see. Now, considering the sustainability characteristic in market, how to do the market value, market rent, and investment value. What are the details are required? We need to analysis of comparable evidence in light of sustainability issues. See, we are doing the green building, so what we'll have to do? We'll have to do the comparable evidence in light of sustainability issues. Even equal comparison of each and everything on a green building to green building, and this is required to be seen. And occupiers and tenant, and statutory and certification, what kind of certification they have, whether they have a schemes on GB, is the green building is there, the energy is there, energy efficient is there, and flood risk in that particular area is there. I have seen one of the building which is very near to the lake, very big lake. When we visited for the insurance claim, actually for my senior, they told, sir, the lake never flooded, sir. We are very happy, sir. Never it has come. Always water will be there. We are getting water from our borewell all the time. We are getting water, very fantastic water. There is no issue. In one of the cyclone, entire Chennai was flooding. That building is also flooding. Because of the lake, actually what happened, it was broken. It has started flooding inside. So the entire basement, 2 basement, everything was full of water. Entire water, car, motors, everything got flooded. So we need to see that what is the flood risk there. In case flood is come, what will be the remedy? What is the protection is there? And water conservation and recycling facilities inside the campus, and waste reduction facilities, occupier health and well-being statistics. We need to take that. What are the things are there? What is required to be taken? And flexibility use, building flexibility use. It is not only designed for any office use, it should be used for any other purpose at later date. Now what has happened? In London, one of the IT company, they have a 5 or 6 places. They vacated all the 4 places. They vacated all the 4 places during the pandemic. They are unable to pay for that rent. They vacated all the places, they have only one place. What will happen to that building? They vacated almost all 4 buildings. Now they will have to look for a different thing, different use. They will have to look for the flexibility use. They will have to look for a different tenant. They will have to look for a different tenant and the leasing arrangement. These are all the things is more important. And lease classes. For a green building, lease classes will be totally different. They will have to see the lease classes. Valuer need to see the lease classes. Fire risk. What is the arrangement of fire is there? What is in case of fire, what will be happen? Very automatic things will be involved in that. What is the manual booting systems are there? What is the sprinkler system is there? What is the alarm system is there? What is the public addressing system which has been given inside the building, and how it is protected? Each how the employee is protected. What are the and appliances are there kept inside the building? All these things are more important. And contamination, the last one, contamination. The contamination is more bad. In fact, I wanted to tell you one more thing. A building which was having a floor mat. Floor mat is one of the, if you are not cleaning that, it will contaminate. It will pollute the air inside. AC is running, you are not cleaning the entire carpet, it will pollute definitely. In one of the IT building I have seen, every day night, the work of the some of the cleaning people, the contract people, they will clean the mat. They will clean the mat. They will clean the area. They will replace whatever the waste papers are. The napkins are there. They will clean the entire toilets will be cleaned every half an hour. I have seen in Ramanujar IT Park the cleanliness of toilet. Very wonderful, very neatly maintained. I never seen anywhere actually such a cleanliness. And in one of the IT park, actually, I have seen they were changing the entire toilet block inside on a phased manner. They changed. Why? They wanted to have a different ambient. They wanted to maintain a green building concept. This is one of the things actually they were maintaining. The contamination is one of the more important thing. The water or energy or the pollution inside, everything is more important inside the building. That is what is happening. And finally, methods and valuation. The cost should never be confused with value. But in valuation term, the former is easier to define than the latter. There are some approaches to valuing the real estate asset. Everything is same. Whether we do conventional building or our green building, both are same. There are direct comparison market approach method. That direct comparison approach to value compares one property to another, adjusting for dissimilarities to arrive at the value. A problem with direct comparison is that adjustment can be made too sweepingly for a small differences between the subject comparable property to be accounted for. Benefits for improvement in energy efficiency. For example, this could reduce operating costs, but unless the differently is fairly large, an adjustment may not be made for the capitalized benefit. It's very clear. Many appraisers working on valuation have yet to ask for the sufficient detail about the differences in comparable, enable them to identify the differential in value. So since the valuation is a client-led discipline, because unless a client gives you all the detail, it is not possible. A client gives the entire detail, it is not possible. See, in Chennai, the green building will value, the rental value will be more. Say 100 rupees or 120 rupees or 110 rupees. Whereas the non-conventional building, IT park, which is constructed, which is not a green certified, which is goes between 60 to 70. 60 rupees to 70 rupees. Though you are paying more rent, the energy, the electricity bill is reduced totally to at least 80% or 60%. What will be the intake you are getting? Every month your electricity bill will be reduced. What will be the outlay? You are saving. You are saving. And one more thing, actually, your employee output will be more. There are lot of indirect benefits on the green building. When we do that, actually, when we do the direct comparison, we'll have to do that. If any direct selling is there, if suppose any green building has been sold, you are taking that as a comparison. In which year it has been sold, 2 years related. What will be the comparison? What are the differences between both the building? What is the square feet area? What is the benefits are there between this building and that building? This is what you'll have to take and you'll have to compare. That is the market rate approach method using the direct comparison. It is up to the valuers, the client, developers, and investors and lenders to require appraisers to include green consideration in adjusting the comparable. It is hardly the valuer's fault if the market is slow to differentiate between green and conventional building, leading to the conclusion that the green building features and practice have a little or no impact on value. This decision has to be taken by you. After inspection, once you inspect, you know that what exactly that green is there or not there. The different methods of valuation is being used in the green building. Discount cash flow method, comparable company analysis method. This is what we have seen here earlier. Comparable transaction analysis method, asset-based valuation method, and sum of parts valuation method. The income or investment approach method, this is generally used for this building because the rents are more important. Based on the rents, you will be calculating the value of the building. The investment approach adjusts for both the time and size of each aspect of asset. It has an operating cost, and so adjustments more easily and fully operating cost of green building than under direct comparison. Adjustments for life cycle and replacement cost may also be more accurate. This will be more accurate. But capitalization rates. In many countries, the dominant method still adopted to find the capital value is through use of capitalization rate. That implies the risk inherent within the investment either initially or over time. Where capitalization approach is adopted, the issue analyzing the comparable transaction is always a matter of value judgment. Yes. In the capitalization rate, what we do, we take the what will be the rent and how much per year, what will be the total rent will be there, what is the outgoing is there in the green building and non-conventional. You can compare, of course. Within 2 hours, I may not able to take that also. That is why I have not given that. We need to have a separate session for 2 hours. It is not sufficient. We'll have to have a working example we can compare for the conventional and non-conventional. So the difference will be there. The expenses will be less in the green building, whereas the expenses will be more in the non-conventional conventional building. The difference will be there. So the outgoing will be more, whereas in green building outgoing will be less. So this is the comparison which we take, and we can use the capitalization rate and we can find out the value of the capital value of the building using the capitalized rate. Generally for capitalized rate for any building, of course, we'll be using 8% for the common, 5 to 8% for the commercial building, which we can adapt, we can find out. This is how we can do. The next one, discounted cash flow method. The discounted cash flow method is increasingly used for the determination of market value, particularly where the property is subject to complex tenancy arrangement. Yeah. wherever we use DCF techniques, there should be a additional consideration to be considered. DCF is something different, but I request every valuer to have a knowledge on DCF and DCF working, which is more important. Many of the real estate problems, the real estate workings, we need to do only on the DCF. The use of discount cash flow method is widespread in some countries for determination of market values for the fair values. But whether or not DCF is adapted to establish market value or fair value, it is the preferred methodology for determining the investment value. This is very correct. Any investment calculation, any investment value, DCF is the right method. Where a market value or a fair value is determined using DCF, the evidence base to support the differential value between the sustainable building and those that are not so. Sustainable is not yet well developed. This is very clear. However, investment values are usually calculated using explicit DCF techniques and are normally prepared for investors who are seeking to judge just not a current performance, but who are also looking for a future. This is more important. Future value is more important. The strategic advisors to valuers are advised to consider the following aspects. What are they? See, whenever you use DCF, whenever you use a terminal closing, you need to have a number of years and number of rental growth we should have, and also we should have what will be the rental we will be getting it, and obsolescence and any depreciation and risk premium and exit yield. These are all the consideration we need to give, and duration to sell or let. So assume that actually after 5 years we are selling the property. We need to see that what exactly that is required for after seeing the property. Okay, let's see that alternative approaches to that actually, which of course I also seen that by book only I have taken. The other approaches to valuations are available often from outside the valuation profession in attempt to integrate the environmental and social, societal, community and economic financial aspects are triple bottom line. Triple bottom line, an approach that tries to weigh economic, social and environmental performance, although broad agreement has yet to be reached on methods of valuing and auditing capital, that is air, water, soil, for example. The triple line based is catching on, although it is often used in tandem with rather than instead of other valuation method. And one more, this is the triple bottom line method. It covers social impact and as well as economic, as well as environmental. All these things has been covered in this triple bottom line method. The full cost accounting method is the other method. This approach presents the full cost implementing decision, and therefore it includes environmental, social, economic implications of the decision. While a useful way of evaluating real components, life cycle operating cost, benefit and capital cost benefit, full cost accounting does not detail how to include the broader aspects in full analysis, and it is criticized for lacking of strongly developed standard. There are some things which has been given. Okay, let us understand what is full cost accounting. Full cost accounting. The full cost accounting is historically defined as a management method that describes when all fixed and variable costs are used to compute the cost of production and distribution per unit. This concept is nowadays is revised to all consider on non-market goods and services such as environmental and social asset. This is very clear. This is how this method is used for this particular purpose. There are 4 components of value and which can be fit in the green value. What are the 4 components? One is revenue. Revenue is more important. For DCF, whenever you want to work out, the revenue is more important. And occupancy. How much people are there, occupancy, what is the vacating time is there, what is the leasing time, and without vacancy is there, without any leasing is there, that is also more important. And the next one is operating expenses are more important, and risks shed light on the value of green building. This is a paralleling a standard operating statement. These categories is also make the case for the green appraisal value. This is more important. Some of the appraisal process for green building is, of course, a borrower asks the bank to include high performance features to appraisal scope of work, comes with the data in hand. Whatever the data is there, you will ask, you will say that special features has to be included. So the bank and lending officer write appropriate scope of work, looks to qualifications in the bids, and the appraisals company, qualified appraisers will be assigned. What will the appraisers will be doing? You'll be meeting with the appraiser owner, provide data on high performance features. More important, you will take everything. And finally, what happened? The bank investor review, high performance building documentation must meet under the writing guideline. These are all the things are more important. And appraisal report includes green consideration. Finally, this is how the process will be there on the appraisal of process of green building. Okay. What are the details required to be collected for a valuer for a green building? A small checklist. The project profile include green building detail, absorption, retention, rents, vacancy, and expected energy cost, which is more important, and building plan, technical details and specifications. Cost of improvements and details are more important, and all the utility bills, which is more important. Then only you can know about the outgoings can be calculated very quickly, very easily. And certification detail, whether they have a green building certification or they have a lead rating, whether they have a gold or platinum. But any of the gold, platinum or any building, I have seen they have a very standard data. They have an operating system will be in place. For every department, they will have an operating system. The standard operating SOP they will have. In fact, many of the IT park, they have a standard operating procedure will be there, which will be very worth actually for a valuer to see that actually. At least for knowledge sharing, you should see that actually. Just for an example, for firefighting system, the standard operating procedure, which is very really very wonderful actually to see that actually. And operation and maintenance cost, what is the type of operation cost is there, what is the maintenance cost they are incurring each and every time, which is required to be seen by the each and every people who are doing the valuation work. And anticipated potential downtime, risk and green features. What is the downtime is required? Suppose some failures happen, what will be the downtime they are taking to rectify that? And the other details related to the asset and other land and sale deed documents which is required for the valuation. These are all the things as which is required to be seen by the valuer. And in fact, intelligent management will be there. And in fact, one of the building I have seen with the building intelligent management system in Chennai is Tidal Park. They have like a control room, like an airport. They have a control room like that actually for the entire green building for the Tidal Park. They have a control room. They can able to see that in which area if they don't want to the AC will automatically close. It will not work. There are so many automatic intelligent management systems which has been provided, which is one of the wonderful technology which has been used actually. So this is one of the rethink and react which I have given. What are the landfill and compostable and plastic, glass and metal and paper and cardboard, how this can be used or reused, this which we are given. And sustainable checklist which is required for every valuer, inspection investigation with regard to the location, how accessible is the property to public modes of transportation or private modes of transportation, users with a special need, that is physical disability. There is a yesterday there is one verdict has been given in Chennai High Court. All government building, Tamil Nadu government building has to be constructed or approved only with the facility provided to the physical disability people. Handicapped people, it has to be facility has to be given, whether they will have to give a relief or they will have to provide a ease ramp or something kind of it, they will have to provide. And green and open areas, how much is there? and user relevant basic services. And with regard to site consideration, what is there or there, land use and likelihood of achieving change of type of quality of land use, current and planned on site defenses against the environmental risk, likely or loan on site contamination, building exposure to sunlight, and building exposure to shading. Shading is one of the more important for any of the green building. The shading, which will give you more green effect, will be there. And conditions of the soil, bearing capacity of the soil, potential for geothermal energy usage, which is also more important. The soil is also one of the most important factor. And with regard to the building, in relation to building specification, condition, and configuration, what are there in the building, energy asset rating, if one exists or not, energy performance, that is consumption, non-renewable energy or non-resources during use, and carbon emissions. What are the carbon emissions are there? We should know what are we are emitting carbon emission, every individual, and sources of energy resources available, and what are they, whether it is used or not, and services relation to age and efficiency and future life of expectancy, and potential of energy renewable usage, and likely risk to local environment through emission, and water consumption during operation, and water conservation or insulation measures to promote water use energy system, and and finally one more, and waste reduction facilities, that is on-site waste segregation or for recycling. Um, Many of the IT park actually having a recycling system and capacity to adaptable, flexible to enable it to be used differently in the event of changing demand pattern, and likely resilience to the consequence climate change, that is storm damage, maintaining usability if temperature is there, and change of end users, and barrier to free accessibility to and inside the building for its for disabled users. These are all the things we need to collect. And safety under extreme conditions such as fire and tempest, and and design of construction in relation to its ability to facilitate future reuse, reselling of materials in the event of refurbishment and demolition, healthy impacts in relation to building materials and building specification, that is daylight and natural ventilation, etc., and ability to support user comfort, that is thermal conditions, visual conditions, acoustic conditions, and indoor air quality. Overall likelihood maintain of long future life based on developing sustainability agenda, including periods between the refurbishment. I told you, one of the company was refurbishing every 3 years. Why they are doing? What for they do? You can study and collect the information, which is more important. One can learn. And finally, availability solutions, solution to resist environmental risk and flood prevention schemes for the buildings at risk. We should prepare for any untoward incident. And what are the documentations with regard to the green building valuations are required? The documentation is available in relation to statutory requirement certification, rating as required in the EU under energy performance in buildings directive, and voluntary certifications including data granted and certification granted in LEED or BREEAM or IGBC, any other externally variable evidence sustainability, winner of any sustainability oriented design awards, and building passports or building files, in sense of objective building documentations along the building life cycle, ground expert testimonies, and building diagnostics, and blower door tests. Yes, this is also more important. Whether they are doing that, whether they are testing that, whether it is operating, whether it is checked by everybody. In green building, any of the many IT park which has a green building, they test every day. They test every day whether it is performing good or not. They will check. They have a preventive maintenance. Everything they will be in order. The planning documentation that supports the claims of sustainability, life cycle assessments, ecological footprint analysis, lease terms of encouragement, and mandate behaviors and standards in relation to environmental social factors, management of building in line with ethical and social responsibility, uh, management of building in line with ethical social responsibility goals, that is environmental management systems, and the relations of data to value, what are they? In review and you reusing or using the data gathered by Valuate should consider to what extent that the analysis sustainability characters of subject property meet the best practice of comparable building, which is more important. When comparing the building, we need to know, and does the building present environment risk that can be quantified and linked to insurance and ability to form appropriate security for a loan? Does the building fail to meet the best practice in relation to health, well-being, and occupier comfort to standard? Where the building is below best practice standard, would it be economic remedy and deficiencies given in the context in which the building sites taking due account to any local or national incentives or discounting schemes that would could reduce the cost or retrofitting? Of course, many of the building, actually the building, green buildings, or government is giving consideration, discounting some of the things that's been given. And insurance, actually what happened, they are giving the less premium for the green building, they are giving consideration for encouragement, they are giving. Does the building present operating cost advantagement, other ways of present profile that might make it more attractive tenants, more occupants other than comparable properties? So what impact does the presence of absence of sustainability characters have in the timing and level of resale or re-relating values and the ease of marketing? More important inputs and data are required. And where the building is currently complaint or even beyond the complaint, to what extent is the likely to change in the future given in the direction of legislation? In case of tenanted property, what is the likelihood that actual potential tenant would use the sustainability feature currently lacking such energy efficiency or carbon reduction, etc., in bargaining the tool during rental negotiation? The likely there is brown discount and other things. And in case of tenanted property, does the lease or other documented management process support programs of sustainability improvement? Overall, is the subsector of the market are likely to potential tenant buyer profile sustainability awareness is there or not? So these are all the things which is data which is required for the sustainable. Finally, coming to the conclusion, the role of value is to assess the market value of fair value in light of evidence normally obtained through the analysis of comparable transaction, which is more important. Comparable transaction, market approach of valuation. While the value should reflect markets, not lead them, they should be aware of sustainable features. Yes, we should know. Unless we know the sustainable feature, which is not possible for any value to value the green building. And implication, these could have a property on the value in short or medium or longer term. Awareness of sustainability varies between the market, but rises significantly in years. And attention is beginning to expand beyond the initial primary focus on energy efficiency and lesser extent on the carbon emissions and prosperity to the flood. A range to social and other environmental factors could potentially lead to change in the market demand. Yes, that is also more important. Further, increasingly stringent legislative requirement will change the specification of new building and existing stock that cannot be retrofitted at economic cost to meet more demanding standards will be at risk of value of depreciation. My dear friends, thank you for listening patiently, and all the best to each and every valuer. My best wishes to all of you, and accept your fast and without regret handle your present with confidence. How the confidence will come? Unless you know the knowledge, you have a knowledge of the subject, it is not possible to have a confidence. So you should have a knowledge to confidence and face your future without fear, because our bill is going, national values bills are going to come. There are going to be a biggest opportunity among the valuers, and 2022-23 is going to open for the valuers. Lot of opportunities are going to be there for valuers. Unless you are knowledgeable, unless you are upgrading your knowledge, it is very difficult for us to do the complex valuation. We need to do the complex valuation. We need to know lot of new things, we need to know lot of new things, we need to aware, which is more important. So I wish all the valuers to have a wonderful year ahead, and be safe, and wear mask, wear social distance, and maintain yourself. Actually, that will be more important. Don't go to the crowded area, because we lost many of our people because of the COVID. My best wishes to all the valuers friends. My best wishes. And in fact, we referred from RICS. I am a RICS member. In fact, I can confidently say that I learned many things from the RICS, many things from the RICS. And in fact, they give lot of things on the valuation front. So I thank my organization also, and I thank Surendra Prakash and Divya Jyoti for giving me the opportunity for presenting this to everyone. And in fact, this is the learning. Every teacher, actually, what happens whenever they are teaching, they are learning. So I learned, then I am teaching. So thank you so much for every one of you. And finally, one more thing is, sorry. Thank you for quite listening. And if any questions, I am here to answer if I know. Please. Sir, we can have question answer session for 2 minutes.
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Because already 2 o'clock passed.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. We'll extend it.
Yes, sir. Anyone? I just wanted criticism also, so that I can improve next time. It is not that actually. I just wanted some points, sir. You are not very clear, or you can say. But one thing I want to tell you, DCF and this method we need to do. One session is required. This 1-2 hour session we need to do for a DCF. This is a very big session. In fact,
Yes.
there are more there actually in DCF, which I wanted to tell. In fact, I have collected some more input, but because of the time, actually, I am not going for that actually. But please, sir.
Okay, sir. If there is demand from our valuer participants, we will we'll organize one more CEP on this.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. No questions.
Sir, will it be possible to go by weighted average method of replacement cost calculation for every component of green building more practical than all other approaches?
See, generally, for any of the valuation work, actually, we'll be doing two methods. One is comparable method with a weighted average you can do. The other one is actually you can do either, see, for green building, what is the advantage? Tenant occupied, and the occupation will never be vacant. In any of the green building, it will be never be vacant. It will be always occupied. And other one is the revenue on the rented portion, that will be more. And on the expenses side, it will be less. When you do that on the green building, naturally the value what you are going to get will be for the present value, that will be more. And you can compare that with the present comparable on weighted average, you can compare. That you can do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Roth. Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
It's a very interesting subject and it's a very big subject.
True.
To be done in one session. The one thing I want to ask, how building affected by fiscal and legislative?
Sir, your question is not clear. Can you just? I think you have switched off your. You can. There is some problem in your network. I think it is not clear. Can you just repeat it, please?
How does the valuation of the green building affected by the fiscal and legislative part?
Sir, legislation. Sir, one thing is you need to have a green building. When you wanted to go for a green building, there are empty number of things you'll have to do. See, I have seen some conventional building with all approvals will be there, with all approval. But when yes, fire broke out in that particular conventional building, there was lot of problem was there. It is very difficult to retrofit and very difficult to see. They will have to vacate the tenant or someone. But whereas in the green building, I have seen, as on today, then the incident which has took place in the green building, I don't think I have not noted any of the incident which has happened in the green building. Because what happened, all followed the all legislations, all rules, all regulations, everything has been followed in the rules and regulations.
Sir,
Rules
this
and
is
regulations
Sanjeev.
has been followed. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I
Yeah, I
will
got
you.
it. Thank you, sir.
This is, I mean, I'm from Delhi, and there are in many authorities, the authorities are giving additional FAR to green buildings.
That is another, yeah, that is there, even,
Yeah.
sir,
So,
even for bank loan, they are giving some incentives. And
incentives,
apart
right?
from that,
In
actually
terms of
insurance,
FAR,
some insurance company, if the green
they're
building
given
is there, they are
discounts in
offering
premium
some
also.
discount premium. Yes, yes, that
Yeah.
is there.
So my question is that while doing a valuation for a under construction building or under construction project, which is supposed to be claimed that he will make a green building, what precautions are without any certification at the initial stage? How
Sir,
should
it will be a
we?
normal building, sir. Sir, during
Yeah,
construction,
yeah.
it is, and it's a normal construction. During construction, you cannot give any green building consideration, cannot be given.
Sir, can I answer on your behalf, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Agarwal, you asked this question regarding the additional FAR being granted on a green building. See, normally when you apply for additional FAR, you have to submit a pre-certification from the green building organization. Then only you are allowed to have that additional FAR of 5% or whatever they are permitting. So you have to go for pre-certification. Without that, they will not permit you. Otherwise, it will be a normal FAR without any green building FAR. And if you wish to have green building FAR, later on also you can do, but in that case, you have to go for revision in your submission.
Hey, my question is, I agree with you. There's a definitely there is a pre-certification is required, and the certification will be based on the plans and drawings submitted.
No, sir, it will be completely based on the calculations that you will be submitting for pre-certification.
No, what type of calculation? I mean, unless there is no building, so ultimately only plans
It
and drawings
No,
are
no,
there.
no, 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 sir,
So,
sir.
Agarwal sir, it all depends on what kind of certification you are going. If you say you are going for a silver certification or a gold certification, there are number of points given. Based on that, considering those points, you have to give certain calculations for that. And then only the pre-certification will be awarded to you.
Agreed. These calculations are based on the drawings and plans only, because the building is not there.
Yes, sir, it is based on the plans only. Later on, when you go for final certification, you have to prove it that you have
You have
achieved
to
it.
prove it. Agreed. So my question is that only, okay, when I am doing a valuation, when the building is in initial stage of construction, maybe at the foundation stage, or maybe part of the structural stage, should we consider should we give the weightage to this
Sir,
pre-certification?
in valuation, actually, as on today, actually there is no. In fact, I have seen Singapore appraisers and Malaysian appraisers, as well as UK and Canada. There is no green building. So much indexing has to be done, or something like the extra cost benefit has to be done, or something like that. Nothing has been given. For your information, there is nothing is there. See, this is also normal construction only. Where maybe the cost of material may be more. You'll have to consider the cost of material, more cost of material. That is the only thing we'll have to consider. There is no special factor is there as such, actually, as on today. But there is a thought process is going on. In fact, many of the architects, many of the faculties, in fact, one of the architect from Singapore, actually, he has written in one of the paper, the government has to consider the factor for the green building. Additional factor has to be considered for the valuation. This is what actually he has written. That is really true, because what happened that we are giving lot of constructions we are giving, lot of government is giving a lot of things. This also can be considered, but this will happen in a due course. It may happen. There will be some special factor may be there, or something may happen in future, but not now. Now actually during the construction, as I said, as Mr. Garg says, actually for free certification, whatever you are applying for certification, you may be applying for a platinum. You may be applying for platinum, mean all the requirements as per the green building has to be submitted to the green building. IGBC you have to submit, you have to register, you have to give the entire thing as per the plan, everything. And during construction, you have to adopt whatever you are given. Whatever you are given. Yes, I am going to adopt this particular wall. I am going to use only AAC block for lighter weight. I will have to use the thermal protection. I will have to give a painting like this. I will have to give everything to be adopted. So during construction, you can give only the actual cost, whatever they are giving. Based on that only we can give. We cannot give any additional factor. As on today, there is nothing in there. Yes, sir.
Can I add something more?
Yes.
In fact, sir, recently we were doing a building which is a platinum rated building, but we could able to achieve only gold rating.
Okay.
Reason for a very simple reason was that authority were asking that you have to implement certain things, and which is not possible, because when we say that we have to achieve platinum rating, the building has to be commissioned first. That means some occupancy has to happen, then only your air conditioning system can be commissioned, your electrical systems can be commissioned.
Correct.
So
Correct.
since we couldn't complete those parts, reason being the building was unoccupied, and without occupancy certificate we can't lease that building. So fulfilling certain requirements, we could able to achieve gold, and this IGBC very clearly said that you can go for platinum once you commission this building. So it's for the completion requirement, we achieved the gold rating and we completed the building.
True. Very correct. Very right. Very rightly said. So any other questions? Let's go quickly because it's a lunch time.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, sir.
Yes, sir. So shall we close the session now?
Sorry, sir.
Hi.
I am having a question. You mentioned about the brown discount. What is it actually?
Sir, brown discount actually it is a kind of whatever that emissions, you are not doing any emission. These are all the things will be listed as per the green building. Then only the brown discount will be given. But as on today, IGBC, that is it is considered actually for the brown discount.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, my request is actually you may conduct one more session with totally, we can have a 2-session kind of a thing actually, in which the discount factor, see, being a valuer required to do a sample of valuation we need to do. That how much rent we are taking for a conventional building, how much rent we are taking for a non-conventional building, and what is the outgoing. Outgoing in conventional building will be more, whereas in the green building it will be less. So we can prove the what will be the amount of valuation which is coming for a conventional building, whereas for the non-conventional building, how the value is differs actually. That we can show that actually. Unless this has to be done, sir, then only we can able to understand that also. Even in the capitalized rate also you can do. With the same rate you can take that net income, and after deducting the expenses, it will prove you very clearly that green building rating will be more, because the outgoing will be more in the conventional building, whereas in the green building the net outgoing will be less. This is how we can able to do that, because the comparability is very difficult. Why? Because the same kind of a building selling in the market will be very difficult. No green building will be sold out. But what we can do, we can, as he said actually, one of the participants, the weightage method we can adopt. We can give some weightages. We can assume these are all the things are there. So this weightage can be given for this building. We can assume and we can arrive at some value that we can do. So, sir, thank you for Divya Jyoti RVO.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have to thank everyone. So we have come to the end of this session. Time has come for thanking everyone. First of all, I would like to thank our speaker, Sri Sundara Pandian ji, for his association with us and for taking this session. The session has been taken very nicely. He has done a very hard work in preparing for this. You would have seen the contents which we will be sharing with you. And I thank all participants for participating in this program. I look forward to their continuous support. I seek their valuable feedback, and I request them to share their requirement for CEP. We will be looking forward to remain in touch. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Sarita, for conducting this program. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prakash sir. Thank you, Prakash sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sarika ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Oh.